Joining me now to discuss this further is a man who spent over 20 years in the Secret Service, retired Secret Service agent Robert McDonald. Robert, thank you for being here. We appreciate your insight on this.
Good afternoon, Brooke. Nice to be with you.
So the White House press secretary said this was in a heavily traveled area. You've been in the White House. You've worked there. Help us understand where they found the cocaine in the West Wing. Who would have access to this area?
That's in an entrance which is off West Executive Avenue on the west side of the White House. It is a entrance that is normally used Monday through Friday for White House staffers, high-level dignitaries and visitors to the White House, and people from the White House staff who need to do business in the West Wing, potentially coming from their offices in the old executive office building. On the weekends and nights, it would be less traversed by staff, as they are not obviously in the building. And that would be an entrance where people would be able to give what we call West Wing tours. Those are tours that are given by White House staffers to VIPs, family members, things of that nature. It is not an area that the general public who would come in for the regular White House tours would have access to.
But even still, they are going through, you would assume, a lot of security, a lot of layers of security. How does an illegal drug even make it into the White House?
A very good question. There are a number of layers that anybody coming through the White House has to go through to get in. Magnetometers, X-rays, various other assets that are available for screenings. I think this is probably going to be an opportunity for the Secret Service to evaluate and continue to reevaluate its protocols so that potentially something like this doesn't happen again in the future.
We know that the Secret Service today is doing some DNA testing. They're looking into this baggie of cocaine that they found. But at this point, I mean, one, it's the White House. It's 2023. I mean, aren't there cameras everywhere? At this point, do you think the Secret Service really doesn't know who it was?
Well, I think the Secret Service is going to have access to knowing who was on the campus over the weekend, for example. As to anybody's specific times and places within the residence of the White House there for those West Wing tours, they'll be able to piece things together. Remember, an investigation is a reconstruction of the past. So what they're doing now is talking to people who were on duty that day, checking the visitor logs, checking surveillance videos that are available. Again, trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle together in order to try to find the person responsible for this. And then continue to work it backwards from there to figure out how those items got into the White House area.
The Secret Service saying they're not ruling anyone out. What do you think?
I don't think you can rule anyone out that was on the campus from, I guess, potentially Friday through Sunday. I can't believe that that item was not seen or was seen relatively soon after it was placed or left there. Sweeps are generally conducted all the time at the White House to make sure that nothing is out of the ordinary. So my guess is it's sometime over the weekend when that happened in that area.
Yeah, because a lot of the conversations that I've been having, though, sort of bring in the questions about the security at the White House. I mean, how does this even happen where an illegal drug like cocaine can be found in the West Wing? What do you think the conversations are right now with the Secret Service? How do you think they're going to change moving forward?
Well, I think, again, the discussions are going to have to be to look at exactly what happened, find out exactly what happened here, how it happened, when it happened, who's responsible, and then look as to how that individual was able to get into the White House, through what means. Were they on a tour? Were they visiting? Are they a staffer? And then figure out from there where to go on how to tighten this up potentially to see if there were any lapses. I don't believe that there were any serious lapses here. Obviously, cocaine is an illegal substance, but there are other things that are going to be looked at here, again, to reevaluate the protocols to see, to make sure that this wasn't something else in the future that could come in illegally or, under a bad situation.
Do you think we'll ever get answers here? Do you think the Secret Service is going to come out and say who brought cocaine into the White House?
I think the Secret Service is going to do everything within its capabilities and with the assets it's have to try to find out who's responsible for this. As I know from my career with the Secret Service, not every investigation leads us to the answer either that we hope to get or that we should get. We'll just have to wait and see how it handles out.
And whether they decide to make that information public, we'll also have to wait and see. Retired Secret Service agent Robert McDonald, thank you so much for your insight and for joining the conversation on this. We appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.